Purchasing a house brings joy to any home investor, but pride comes when they begin to see and feel the house turning into a home. This is the story behind the house behind me. The homeowners purchased an old 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom home and had it renovated. We'll meet the architect, Mr. Robin Baston, later on in the program. And you know what? Stick around, because up next, I'm going to take you on a tour of this beautiful home. I'm Nadia, and this is House Proud. Welcome back. Without further ado, let's go inside. There are 3 things that you'll notice throughout this house: artwork, antiques, and pigs. Well, I'm on the inside, and you're on the inside. This was originally the carport, believe it or not. And what they did was created the entrance now to the house. In this area, we see wonderful pieces of artwork by George Rodney, Samir, Pearson. We have 2 special pieces that come from Liberia, and these are chairs. So we're on our way now to, boy, they use this room for so many different purposes. Music, entertainment, meetings, and it's also a guest room. It originally was the entrance that led to the veranda. Here we have several elements that make this room very cozy. One, we have a coffee table, which they really had a hard time finding coffee tables that they like. It's an antique that was refurbished and they used metal here with a pattern design in it. The warm terracotta color just adds that extra warmth into the room. Follow me now, because we're going to go to the veranda. And remember, this originally was the entrance to the veranda. So here we are. Oh, and by the way, it's raining cats and dogs, but you know what? You don't feel it, it's just so much warmth is provided in here, even when it's raining. We have different pieces of furniture. The homeowner describes his taste as eclectic because there are different pieces that really don't match, but placement is key. Where he's put them is really the key. They've created different seating areas in the veranda. So little cozy corners, you know, for 2, for 4, for 5, how many ever. We have a nice bamboo set, locally done. And now from the veranda, it leads into a little lounge area, again for guests or for themselves. Coffee tables, as I mentioned, was one of the really important things to the family, and it was hard for them to kind of get coffee tables that would meet their needs and also represent their taste. And here we have a simple wine rack, stores quite a bit of liquor. And you know, to complement good liquor, you need good food. So let's head to the kitchen. The kitchen was originally quite small and stopped at where that particular beam is. And beyond that was the wash area. So what the family decided to do was expand the kitchen and push the washroom area behind that closed door. Simple features in the kitchen, One, the island in the center of the kitchen, which provides ample counter space, and the stove is built in. Another special feature is storage space using a pot rack. The cupboards are made of basic Jamaican cedar. From the kitchen, we enter into the family room or the entertainment center. The original room actually ended where you see the crevice in the ceiling. That was grill work. And purposely, this room was built for the kids so that they could have a stomping ground. One of the key things I like about this room is it's so open, and the wife had done such a fabulous job with the decor. One of the key things in this room is that accent wall, red in color. And what the homeowner did was use her pieces of furniture, 2 sofas, and a single seater, which had the red tones in it, complements everything nicely. Then you'd notice the bamboo blinds, which provide light atmosphere into the room. Wind can come in easily, no drapery, very rustic vibe with the bamboo blind. Follow me now to the courtyard. This courtyard was originally the lawn, but they needed space for the kids to roam, to feel secure, for entertainment purposes, not only for the kids, but for the adults as well. The courtyard is complemented by, obviously, the greenery, different pieces of furniture, as well as this old sugar kettle. It took 6 men to lift this, and this was used back in the day to boil sugar. But they've created it, or converted it, into a fish tank. I wonder what's behind this blue door. Do you want to find out? Well, stay tuned. And when we come back, I'll show you what's behind this blue door. Well, I want to see what's behind this blue door. I know you do too. But we're going to take it from another angle. So come with me. So we're here now, right outside the sleeping area. Follow me as we check out the bedrooms. I should mention that this is the only hallway in the house that leads to the sleeping areas, and the flooring is the authentic wooden floors of the original house. To the right of me, we have the boys' bedroom, which is furnished by bamboo furniture and complemented nicely with navy, red, and white. Each bedroom also has its own bathroom. And across the hall from the boys' bedroom is the girls' bedroom. This is a wooden Balinesian bed, and is complemented nicely with yet another accent wall, picking up the tones in the cushions and the bedspread. And also a view of the courtyard from this bedroom. And once again, each bedroom is equipped with its own bath. You think you've seen anything yet? Let's check out the master bedroom. Furnished with several antiques that have been handed down from generation to generation. Beautiful pastel yellow on the walls, highlighted with burgundy tones. And what's a master bedroom without a walk-in closet? Because you know us ladies, we need ample space. Come on. Big enough to house both mommy's and daddy's clothing. And how about this bathroom? Beautiful jacuzzi. And I can decide which shower I want to use, number 1 or number 2. So mommy and daddy could actually shower together. You remember that blue door I mentioned? Well, this is the other side of the blue door. This is also the courtyard that extends all the way to and alongside the master quarters. This particular bed comes from Indonesia. It creates a nice romantic atmosphere, especially in the evenings. Both husband and wife love to sit out and have dinner at evening hour. And they both told me that this happens to be the favorite part of the house for them. And there's our blue door. Off of the master bedroom is the office. Aww. This is where Dad does all of his late night hours. And off of the office leads right into the veranda. In the veranda, we have several pieces of furniture. Some have been handed down, some actually have been since they've been in university. One of the things I like about this veranda is the fact that you have different seating areas at different points throughout. So there's a continuity of seating. So any amount of people can be in here at one point in time. This particular table is a mosaic that was done by friends and family, and bit by bit they just put each tile in there. Nice sun in the middle of it. Stay tuned, because when we come back, we'll meet the architect, Mr. Robin Baston, responsible for this wonderful design. Welcome back. Please help me welcome our special guests, homeowner Debbie Cumming and architect Robin Baston. Hi, Debbie.
Hi, Nadia. How are you?
Good, and you?
Very well.
Robin,
thanks.
welcome.
Hi,
Thanks
Nadia.
for coming to House Sprout. Debbie, tell me, what were some of the needs that prompted you to renovate?
Well, we didn't really have a choice. When we bought this house, it was a very old house that needed complete renovation. So I had to actually convince my husband that it had potential, and that the location was great, and it was something that we could do something with.
A dream come true, because your house is really beautiful.
Thank you, thank you.
And I mean, without the architect Robin, this could not have been achieved. So, Robin, tell me, first up, we know we have major security issues in Jamaica right now. Your grill work, I do not feel caged in when I'm in this house. How did you achieve that?
Well, that was one of the early requirements, and one of the main challenges with the house was precisely to achieve that, where the house would be secure without feeling, letting the occupants feel it, that they're grilled in a prison. And the first phase or first step of that we actually did was to basically take off all the grills that were existing on the windows and the doors and move them outwards. So we created around the existing house an envelope and then grilled that instead. So all the interior spaces, the living rooms, the bedrooms, everything can then open up onto these outer spaces, which those were grilled. And the same thing applies for like even the windows, where we didn't have an outer space, we then created grill boxes so that the casement windows could open all the way out. So that's how we achieved that.
Robin, all the woodwork, let's say the windows, you know, they're all wooden but white, and the grill work is a darker color. Was there a reason for that?
Well, the main thing is it's really a trick of light and using light and the way that the human brain works, in that we can see things that are brighter more easily. That's how the human eye works. So if you're inside the house and you're looking outside, it's a bright day and such forth. If you had a very light grill, like a white grill, the eye starts to pick up the grill in the foreground, and so you see grill work. By painting them a darker color and breaking them up, which what is very popular now, they refer to it as a verde green or antique green, is the eyes now looking beyond the grill work, so the brain doesn't register it as much. And it also helps considerably at night, because it blends in with the night, and if you're looking out at a view, say Kingston at night or something like that, the grill disappears visually. So again, that helps with the whole psychological effect of not feeling caged in.
What were some of the challenges you faced with this renovation project?
At the time of the renovation, which was, oh Debbie, that was what, 10 years ago?
11 years is
11 years ago. It was at a time, about 15 years ago, that the concerns for security had become more heightened, I think. You know, no one was sitting down on their veranda anymore. People felt unsafe just sitting on a veranda. So one of the main challenges was to be able to maintain security, and so that the occupants, the owners, can feel comfortable in any part of the house. So that was really a challenge with that.
Debbie, first hand up, you've gone through a renovation of a house. Tell me, as a homeowner, how is that for you? What was your experience?
Well, renovations I don't think are ever easy, and initially I felt, or the thought was, that I was actually going to be chief contractor and would have an architect. Anyway, that changed very, very promptly. I think the most important thing is to have an architect that you can work with, that you can communicate with, that can understand what your needs are. The first thing that we actually did was sat with Robin and told him what our main requirements were. And then based on that, he then went out and did what we wanted. You know, the security issue was, we didn't want to feel caged in, so he dealt with the grills. We didn't want to see the grills, so he made them dark. And we just wanted a lot of open space. So we worked very, very well together with Robin.
Well, you know something, Robin, if ever I can afford to renovate, or no, buy a house, I'm going to call you, because I really like your style.
Well, Debbie actually does a good thing every now and again with her clients, is when they're thinking of buying a house, she invites an architect along to advise them and say, well, yes, this house has a lot of potential for renovations, because not every house can be renovated easily and within a certain budget. So it's good from that, even before you actually purchase the house. It's good, I think, to have someone along.
Tell me, are there any tips that either of you can offer to our viewers out there, those who may be thinking of renovating or purchasing a home, that'll guide them on the right path?
There's so many tips. It's kind of difficult to know where to begin. I would say that location is the key. You need to determine whether, if it's something to be renovated, whether the potential is there for it to be renovated. Many people just don't have the eye to determine whether that can be done. So I think it's very important to use a professional, such as Robin, an architect, and even have friends and family who may be able to look at something and see something more than you can see. Then the decision also needs to be made as to whether is it worth renovating? What's the cost involved? And if the cost is going to be greater than won't get you what you want, then you may want to look at demolishing and starting from scratch.
Robin, what about you as the professional?
Two tips, I would think. First one is, if you've now made a decision and you've decided and you bought the house, the first thing you want to do before you do a renovation is you get a measured survey, which is a drawing done, a record, everything measured up and recorded of what is existing there, because that is the starting point for the renovation. And anything you're going to do, you should have a drawing for it, because it's very easy to stand there without a drawing and say, I want to knock out this wall, without fully understanding the relationship that that wall may have with the rest of the building. And the measured survey is very important at the beginning. The next tip is, too often people, they make decisions based on a limited amount of experience of what they have seen already. And they must remember that when they're working with an architect does this every day. So he sees 30 homes, 40 homes, whatever, throughout his, a month or whatever. So it's much better to have an open mind, listen to what the architect is suggesting, and don't be afraid of buying the magazines. Some people would crucify me and say, oh, no, you mustn't buy them. No, the magazines are a great way of looking at what other people have done and getting ideas and get a feel for what you want and what you might like. But too often people drive past and they see something and or the house that they live in, that's their only experience of what can be done with a house, and there's just no end of possibilities once you go beyond that.
Well, that's why House Proud is here.
That's right, showing everybody.
That's right. Robin, thank you so much for joining me today out of your busy schedule.
Thank you.
And Debbie, this was not possible without you and your home, so thank you so much for allowing us and sharing your space.
You're welcome. It's been a pleasure.
As for my tip, welcome the pigs in your house. This is Nadia signing out for yet another episode of House Proud. Until we meet again, may God bless your home. Bye.